What's going on, guys? Wade here. I'm the Millennial Stone Cleaner, and if you're new here, we are restoring an abandoned cemetery. This cemetery has not been taken care of in a long time, and we are doing the whole thing. There's a couple hundred burials here, and so far we've gotten a lot of tablet stones on the west side of the cemetery dug up, and today's project is to work on the entire east side of the cemetery. We're gonna get all the fractured stones, all the remnants dug up and putting on some lumber, so let's get going. All this lumber is old retired tripods that I've got. I just keep the wood around, and then when I need it to have some scrap, I cut them up. But every couple months I'll retire my tripod. I'll go get a new one. That way I'm not wasting the material. This is the farthest east side of the cemetery, right next to where I typically am parking when I'm here. We've been on the whole farther side, so you really haven't seen this yet, other than maybe in some of the intro videos. And there's a lot down that's over here as well. And there's definitely some interesting things that I'm seeing here that are a little bit different than over there as well. I think I see some curbing, like from a family plot over here as well, that I'll be interested in exploring that. The unfortunate part of this one is we do have a nice epitaph here. It says, some of it's unreadable. We may have to find Andy again. He's been helpful. Father love, Father above, maybe. Thy love alone, little one doth keep. Wondering if this is a baby. Should see if we can find this hop. You can see how eroded this is. Take a look at this. See how long ago we eroded this. How long ago this one was fractured and eroded. So I don't have a lot of confidence that we'll find that piece, but we should at least probe for a minute. Well, we didn't have to probe long. There's something. There may be a keyway. There might be something. That's very likely the top part. And what happens to marble over time is this. Look. It sugars and just disintegrates. Goes back to the earth. There's nothing you can do to save that. Moisture just sitting in the ground causes that. But we'll at least save the pieces and yeah. Yep, that's the top. There's enough pieces here that indicate that. But unfortunately, they're too far gone and sugared. They're just gonna, if I put a little pressure on this, we just blow up. Some glass. More roots, certainly no shortage of trees here. Something like this, assuming that we don't find the top part, we'll probably just lay this on the ground and just sort of allow it to gracefully go away. Sitting in the ground like this is what causes the issue. Any marble like this, in contact with the ground and moisture like this, laying flat like that, it's just going to disintegrate. It's just going to happen. If it was out of it, the moisture had time and ability to move, it'd be a different story. But we can at least slow that process by getting it out of the ground. So what we'll probably do is I'll probably try and build a concrete slab on a bevel that we can then just lay this on, maybe put a better mortar on there. If we don't find the upper part, even if we find the upper part, that's probably still what we'll end up doing. But that way it'll age gracefully with what's left of it. That'll be a good, respectful solution. If you look close here, oh, here's more. So right here is what I'm talking about. You can see it's still incredibly sugared, but that's what it's showing. And you can just see all these flecks here in the ground from where it's sugared and disintegrated. Some really old glass. Very thick. I think we found the keyway. Yep. This is the keyway. This is the former keyway. It failed at some point. You can tell the difference here in material. You've got a limestone here and a marble here. I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera, but I have another flag just off to my right here, and that flag and that grave is positioned right here, and I just hit the keyway here, so I'm going to make a presumption that the burial was initially here, but as it fell, it moved. There's also a slope here, could have just slid down over time. So I'm going to move this so we have a little more room to excavate. I'm not confident that I'm gonna find anything more than the keyway, but I still wanna excavate this and do some exploring. Some of you might be wondering why I'm not digging a little bit harder or working harder at this, and well, I mean, frankly, I'm out of shape and I am working hard for me, but there's stones below the ground and I don't want to hit them. Or when I do hit them or I do find them, I don't want to break them with my shovel. So I got to explore. So it's sort of a little dance that I'm playing here. Wow, that's big. Wow. So you just see that pop like that? That's delamination. So limestone, it's made of sedimentary, it's layers. And how it fails is like you just saw. And that's why all these keyways are failing. There it is. Wow, that's deep. My goodness. The fact that it was vertically under there is wild. But that tells us that there's nothing more. That's it. See how just by dropping it, that fractured? Super soft. So that's where the keyway is. So I'm gonna mark my flag here, and that's where we need to replace it. Which is awesome, because that tells me exactly that we're on the right track with these others, because there's more flags. So there we go. On to the next one. This whole section here, I think we're gonna have to come back to this one at a later time, but I'm gonna at least get this stone out. The reason I say that, I can see a keyway right here. I can see that. See the corner of it right there? So I can tell there's a keyway there, which is cool, because that's probably associated with the stone that we're seeing right here. But here's the other problem. There's some other curbing that's here. And I'm not sure what it is, but there's also curbing off to my left here as well. And so I know that there's a lot of digging involved with that, and I want to just get the stones up first and worrying about the curbing second. Like, if we can do something with the curbing, that's great. But the last thing I want to do is spend a day, I don't want to spend a day dealing with curbing while we can get headstones up, at least on blocks. I'd rather do something a little bit more productive with that. So I think that's going to probably be a whole other video. Yeah, you see that moving like that? Really, I want to go back to the records and see what kind of family plot there might be, because it might be indicating the family plot. We certainly have a lot of curbing in other cemeteries around here, but what we don't have it is in this one. This is the only area that I've seen where we've got curbing. This is highly eroded. This is the keyway that I was talking about that I saw on the ground. Something real small. So I believe this could be a tab and socket. If we find the bottom of this, it might tell us what's going on. I can see a little bit under there, but it's possible this is a tab and socket, so there'd be a tab coming off here, and it fits in this socket right here. And so it'd be a multi-tiered. So it'd be a base, the socket, and then this is the tab. This looks dimensionally right. All right, let's keep digging. Let's see what we find. The name of the game with this is, when in doubt, keep digging. When in doubt, dig a bigger hole. Oh, this is cool. Okay. There's the other piece. So these two fit together like so. And then based upon that, we could test the width. Yes, so this is a match. This is the dig a bigger hole scenario. Keep hitting things. Look at that. The question is as to what to do with this, because I don't think it matches anything that we've got available to us. So it's a keyway, great, but then what? But let's look. Oh wow, yep, okay, cool. So, doesn't quite fit anymore, but there we are. We'll do some work on this. That's really cool. And the keyway's still intact, so we'll use it. We'll just have to level it. Like so. We'll have to modify it because the tab is certainly gone. Wow, what a cool find. This tiny little headstone I was not thinking was gonna turn into this base. That's awesome though. All right, let's get this back in a box. All right, so we've got two dug up right now. We've got this one where we don't have a name associated with it because the top right here, top is gone. There's the hole. And then we've got this one up. This is a pretty cool one, but it's broken in a whole bunch of pieces. We've got 3 different pieces there, but that's gonna be a fun one to work on. And that came out of here. Okay, so let's go take a look at the next section that I wanna work on. This one is one that I kind of had my eye on just because frankly, there's a lot of flags around it. The city came out here and helped me put some flags out. Soil probing and so forth. And this one is 2 fractured tablets that we do have the parts for in keyways right here. So we've got keyways right here. You can see them. Same thing there. What I'm really curious about is are they still intact? And then how much of the tablet do we actually have? Because clearly this one here is small and we're going to be missing a lot of it. So is that back here? I'm guessing maybe. So I'm really interested in exploring that. And then this one we have here. I'm really hoping that this one's gonna work out for us, that we're gonna get some complete stones and keyways that exist already that we just have to repair. So this one should be good. This is kind of what I was expecting because clearly we saw that it was missing there, but we've got this real interesting fracture here vertically, and there's grass growing in it. So let's see if we can find that piece as well. I'm frankly not holding out hope that we'll be able to find that, but It'd be pretty cool if we did. But we do know that we certainly do have the keyway that's here because we can see it. This is actually a really good example. So this is a keyway that would be below ground. It does appear to be plumb and level, and it would be hidden a couple inches, basically just this amount of sod below the surface, because it wouldn't be seen because it's not finished. If this was finished, as in polished and so forth, the keyway could be visible, and that would be intended for that. But in this instance, this is not intended to be visible, and it's at the right elevation. So I'm gonna go get my level and just see if this is plumb. And if it is, we're not gonna touch it because it's already good. Let's go check that. Yeah, it's out just the tiniest bit. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, but it's worth doing. So let's pull this up. Gosh, that was so close. So I'm continuing to work away at this one, and I think this is something that you'd like to see. We've got, right down here, more stone. So there's a foundation under it, which isn't abnormal, but typically not under a keyway like this. In this instance, the keyway itself is the base and the foundation. So it's there, but that's interesting because it's another piece of limestone. I thought about stopping and pulling it out, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the keyway out, we'll get the tablet out, and then we can regrade it with some gravel on top of that just to get it leveled out and leave that foundation. So I'm gonna leave the foundation in, we're not gonna touch it, but we'll at least get some of the dirt out of there. So let's get at this. So you can see down in here that we've just basically got a nice unfinished rock right here. So we'll kind of leave it at that, and when we come back to level it out later, when we come back in to reinstall this, we'll work on getting this back in level. But we're going to leave that in there. We're not going to pull that out. It's nice. Let's start over here. There's got to be something right here. I know when they were flagging, they hit some stone, or what felt like stone. Assume it's the top of the stone. It looks like a keyway. That's very unusual compared to where this is at next to this other one. So it looks like it is the tablet. So I'm just kind of going wide, making sure I don't hit any more of it. But I want to be gentle, because it's really under there. I'm pretty sure we found the tablet. I think I can see some inscription there. I just want to be super careful getting this out. Okay, it's all in a bunch of pieces. I just went to go pull the keyway out in this fractured part, put my shovel in right there, and as I was lifting, boom, we hit this. And I can tell right there, you can see a nice, this is probably the top corner right there, nice and square. So now I'm gonna have to go poke around and see what else we got in here. It was right here, and there's just an immense amount of roots here on the surface because it couldn't go, the roots couldn't get down. There's more right here. Wow. What? Come on now. This is definitely the case of dig a bigger hole. It just keeps going. What do you want me to do? Or just keep going back and back and back? Oh, for real? Wow. Had already gone through and explored all of this, yet it doesn't seem like I found all of it. Now we've gotten down to that same foundation that we saw over on the other side. This one actually could, this could work above ground. This has a nice finish to it where the other one doesn't. Okay, so here's another piece, but it looks like it's pretty gone. Yeah. It's been into the ground so long. This is the same as what we saw earlier with the sugaring. Right here. That's pretty degraded. But we'll save it. We'll save it anyway. Now, I thought we felt more out here, right there. We're hitting this rock. False alarm. I'm gonna pull this one out like we did with the other one because I wanna be able to grade this properly. Just looking for other pieces as long as we've got this open. I just want to see if there's anything that just stands out. I don't see anything here offhand. Okay, well, at least it's out and now we can work on it. But I think this is a good place to stop the video for today. We've got a couple of these out. We've got a lot of work to do with the pieces that we found because there's definitely some doozies there. So Next video, we'll probably continue at getting the rest of them out. We're still working on this east section. We've got a few more to do. So next video, we'll pick up where we left off with this one. Thanks for watching.